Okay, everyone, it is piano time. Hi, nice to see you. Thanks for joining me today for our piano lesson, Adults and Teens. Give yourself a round of applause. We reached the end of the summer. Woohoo! Great job. My goodness, we have been learning piano for 18 weeks. Can you believe that? It's pretty amazing. I'm very proud of you guys. Yeah, so before we get started, of course, let's do a couple things for me. Let's like and share this video with your network so they all know that it's time for your piano lesson, okay? Maybe they'll join in. The next thing is of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? So this is the best thing to do if you want to be able to revisit these lessons that I've been giving again, right? So if you didn't get a concept or a certain thing that we learned in class, you can always rewatch the video again on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe. Just search Izzy Chia, okay? The next thing is join my private Facebook group, okay? It's called Encore Music Makers. And this is where all of my students get interaction from me, right? So you post a video or a question in the group and I will watch and give you feedback and guidance on how to work out those tricky spots in your songs. So go ahead and join, put that request in so I can see you in there, okay? And finally, of course, yes, I am on Patreon, right? So Patreon is this really cool platform for creative people like myself to sort of gain a steadier income, right? So because I'm a donation-based piano teacher, my income is very spotty. So every single time that you sign up to be a patron on Patreon, it guarantees that I get a little bit of donation every month, and it's automated so that way you don't have to worry about it. You just set it and you forget it, all right? Awesome. Thank you so much for letting me say that. We gotta get started, right? So let's do it. We have our adult all-in-one book. So go ahead and pull out your book. We're gonna turn to page 75, okay? We had learned the happy birthday song. Did you remember to practice that one? Yeah, so we did the happy birthday song, and then we also had two mini songs on the following page. So let's go over happy birthday together. Hopefully it'll sound pretty good and you're feeling confident, and you can keep it in the back of your brain for when there's a birthday in your family or friend group, right? All right, let's do it. I'm gonna switch to piano view. Okay, so piano view here, we are remembering that this happy birthday to you has those eighth notes in it, right? So we're gonna be in that middle C butterfly position. I have both my thumbs on middle C. I am going to fan out those fingers, all right? This song is in 3/4 time. It begins with a incomplete measure. And it's nice and mezzo forte, okay? All right, so if you are in position and ready, I'm going to count off, and let's go ahead and play the song together, okay? All right, let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, ready, play. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear someone, with the fermata. Happy birthday to you. Very good. All right, did you manage to get through it? Did you play the whole thing? You did? Okay, that's really, really fantastic. Every single time that you play it, you know you are improving. So even if you made a couple mistakes, that's okay. Because if you give yourself another chance to play it again, I promise you it's going to sound better and better, okay? Very good work on happy birthday to you, all right? Let's turn the page now to 76, and let's go over those two mini songs that we had, okay? Now, the first mini song was called Shoe Fly Shoe, okay? All right. Let's go over that one, okay? Now, this one was sort of like that big beat breakdown of the eighth note, right? So in this case, we're playing only quarter notes and half notes in this song, okay? It's a right hand only song. So that way we can really focus on doing those big beats, right? Every measure, every single measure, all right? Let's give it a try. We're gonna be in that C position for the right hand only, okay? I'm gonna switch to piano view so we can play it together. Okay. All right, so I've got my right hand thumb, and I'm going to put that on my middle C, and I will fan out the rest of my fingers, okay? We're going to begin on a finger 3 E, which is right here. All right, I'm moving it up and down. It's in 4/4 time. It's mezzo forte, and it says the tempo is brightly, so I'm assuming that it's probably moderately fast. Okay, so as I count off, see if you can play this song with me, okay? Let's give it a try. 1, 2, ready, play. Flies a buzzin', shoo, fly, shoo. Flies a buzzin', shoo, fly, shoo. Flies a buzzin', shoo, fly, shoo. With the fermata. Don't buzz around, my darling. Awesome, very good. That's a little song, right? It's like I said, it's a mini song, right? Little by little, we did a little bit here and there. Did you keep your quarter notes nice and even? Yeah, that's the essence of this song, right? It's supposed to be breaking down each measure, each beat evenly, because it's quarter notes, right? Now, when we encounter eighth notes in Skip to My Lou, they should also be broken down evenly, 2 eighth notes equaling 1 quarter note, okay? Let's give Skip to My Lou a try now, okay? I'm going to switch to piano view. See if you can keep up with me, okay? I think you can. See if you can do this. All right. So I'm still going to be doing a right hand only song. It's going to begin with that finger 3 again on E, okay? The only difference is we have an additional syllable with the skip to my Lou, right? So we're going to have to play eighth notes when those lyrics pop up, okay? As we're going through, see if you can keep up with me, okay? It also says the same tempo. It says brightly, so I'm going to do it sort of a moderately fast, okay? Nice and mezzo forte. Let's count off. 1, 2, ready, play. Lost my partner, skip to my Lou. Lost my partner, skip to my Lou. Lost my partner, skip to my Lou. Skip to my Lou, my darling. Awesome! Bravo! You got through those mini songs, didn't you? Did you see how those eighth notes sort of, if you do them nice and evenly, they match up perfectly with the beats, right? There's no sort of syncopation or weirdness in there with eighth notes. They're just even, right? They're just quicker, all right? Very, very good job on that, all right? So now for the final lesson of the summer season, I'm going to give you a big song, okay? If you look at 77, there's a song there called Standing in the Need of Prayer, okay? You'll find that a lot of hymns and things from, I guess Christian hymnals and things like that, they actually have a lot of really good songs for learning piano. You know, this is a really good example of it, right? It's kind of like a spiritual, which is a really popular and influential movement here in the United States, okay? So Standing in the Need of Prayer has a lot of really, really good examples of things that we've learned in the past, right? So our chords, our eighth notes, our sharps, different things like that. So that's why I wanted to give you this song for the last song in our oh, there it goes. The last song in our season, okay? So as we're going over here, let's take a look at what position we're gonna be in, okay? This one here says we're going to be returning to a C position, okay? So that basically means your left hand pinky is going to be on C, and your right hand thumb, of course, will be on your middle C again, okay? I'm going to switch to piano view, and I'm going to look at this song here, okay? Let's give it a try. Okay, I'm going to start in that C position, okay? All right, it begins, it's 4/4 time, okay? But it has an incomplete measure at the beginning, all right? So that's something to be aware of. You don't want to be caught off guard with that extra beat at the beginning, all right? It has a change between our left hand harmonic chords and our right hand melody, all right? So starting here with a finger 3 on E, I'm only going to play the right hand and the left hand chords of the first 2 lines only to begin, okay? So let's see if we can play through Standing in the Need of Prayer, the first 2 lines only, and then we'll talk about what we just played, okay? If you want to keep up with me, that's totally fine, or you can just listen and follow along with your finger in the music, okay? All right, I'm going to count off now. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. C chord, C chord, C chord, D, C, hold, C, 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 D, and E, 2, 3, E, C chord, C chord, E, C chord, C, that go? That was hard, wasn't it? Yeah, it caught me off guard because the changes between like the 4 chord and then the B7 chord, it was just a lot. There was a lot going on. So I want to take this hands apart and talk a little bit about what exactly we just played, okay? Now, with the melody line of the right hand, it's fairly simple, okay? We don't really have any jumps until we get to the second line, the second to last measure, okay? Let's just play the right hand together by itself, and I'm going to say my note names as I play for the first 2 lines, okay? Let's give it a try. Okay, so switching here, we're only doing the right hand, okay? So I'm going to put that right hand in C position. It begins with a finger 3 on E, okay? And I'm going to count off, and we're going to say our note names as we play the right hand only. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Okay, interesting, huh? Isn't that cool how it does that? It's actually pretty nice. I like that melody line. It's not too tricky, but when you add the additional chords in the left hand, that's when it gets a little crazy. All right. Now, with that same energy, I want to see if we can figure out the chords of the left hand, okay? You already know all of these chords. It's just trying to remember them in C position, okay? We have that 1 chord, we have the 5 chord, and we have that 4 chord, right? I think they call it the C chord, the G7, and the F chord, okay? So let's see if we can do the left hand, okay? Pay very close attention to the rests, okay? And the note values. You're gonna have notes that are held for 2 beats, some held for 3 beats. You're gonna have to count quarter rests as well. So it's a little bit tricky in there. Let's see if we could just do the left hand by itself. All right. Okie dokie. All right. And if you're watching, you can comment or give me some thumbs up. All right. So we're starting here in C position, friends. Okay. we have our pinky on C, and our 3 on E, and 1 on G, okay? Now, those are going to be the notes for our 1 chord, okay? I'm going to count off, and it's going to sound a little bit funny because we have that incomplete measure to begin, all right? Here we go. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Rest, rest, 1 chord, 1 chord, rest. 1 chord, B7, 1 chord, hold. 1 chord, hold. D7, hold. 1, 2, 3, rest, rest. 1 chord, 1 chord, rest. 1 chord, D7, 1 chord, hold. 1 chord, hold, and then G7, hold. 1 up to F, and a 1. Yeah, all right. Yes, it's tricky. I'm not gonna lie. It is very, very tricky. But you are more than capable to figure this out, okay? And don't worry, if it's getting like really, really hard and frustrating, you are more than welcome to join me on Monday for practice with me, because I will be here to practice with you guys, okay? All right. Now, continuing on, these 2 lines have a double bar at the end. Do you see that there? It's kind of a random place to put a double bar, because if you see, there's 2 more lines of music. Why does it have a double bar there then, huh? Well, there's a new term that we're going to be learning, okay? If you look at the very bottom of the whole song, written in pink, there is a little symbol there at the very end. It says D, C, al fine, right? It looks like it says fine, but this is Italian, right? So we get to be a little fancy. It stands for da capo al fine, okay? Da capo is sort of like the Italian way of saying the top or the cap of something, right? So if you think of, you know, in Broadway or band shows or something, they always say, from the top. Well, they're referring to the beginning of the song, right? That's the same idea here. Da capo al fine means go back to the beginning, the top, and you play until you see the fine, right? The fine stands for the end or the double bar, okay? That would make this a 6-line song instead of a 4-line song, okay? So think about that. It's pretty cool, all right? Wonderful. So now we have our roadmap, right? So you're going to start at the beginning. It plays all of these 4 lines, and then da capo, boing, it goes back to the beginning, and then you play the first 2 lines again until it says the word fine, okay? I hope that made a little bit more sense. Why that double bar was written right there, okay? Now, looking at line 3, yikes! It looks a little bit scary, doesn't it? Because it's got sharps, and it's got chords, and it's got 8th notes. Oh my goodness, it's kind of tricky. But we're going to go over it together now, okay? So starting at line 3, let's take a look. We are going to start with our right hand only, okay? And we're going to figure out our notes first, all right? We're going to play all of line 3 and all of line 4, okay? Right hand only. Let's get into position, all right? Okay. All right, here we are. Oh, hi, James. Oh, I'm so glad that you're watching. Oh, yeah, just stopping by to watch. No piano experience. Oh, that's good. Hey, if you ever want to join my class, James, they are free, and I start from the very, very beginning. So anytime you can join me, okay? All right. Now, starting here at line 3, all right? Line 3, we're starting with a finger 3 on E. And then the next note is a D sharp, okay? So if I'm trying to find my D sharp, I have to know where my D is, right? So this finger 2 is my D. But I'm going to sharp it, which means play the first note to the right, whether black or white, it's right there. And that's my D sharp, okay? So as I play this, there's plenty of sharps here, right? Now, you might notice the last 3 sets of 8th notes do not have D sharps in them. But that's actually a way for the people to save ink. They are supposed to be sharp because the first one in the measure does have a sharp. So if you need to take your pencil and circle that, you absolutely can. So all of those are going to be sharp. I'm going to draw little sharps in front of them. Okay, let's see how this sounds, okay? I'm going to count off. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. B, D sharp, E, 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 D, C, hold. C, 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 D, D, E, 2, 3, E, D sharp, 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 E, D, C, hold. C, 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 up to E, D, and C, 2, 3. Very nice. Okay. I told you those sharps and eighth notes were kind of freaky. That's okay though, because you have plenty of time to practice. All right. That's why I'm only giving you one song this week, because it's a big one. All right. Now, as you're going through this section with your eighth notes and with your right hand, you notice a lot of the tricky stuff is in the right hand for this time around. Okay. The first 2 lines, the right hand was kind of easy. But the second 2 lines, the right hand is like crazy tough, okay? So it's just going to take a little bit of practice, all right? I'm going to play the right hand section again, okay? The last 2 lines, but this time I'm going to say my finger numbers instead, okay? That might help some of you, because I know some of you like to hear the note names and others like to hear finger numbers, okay? So let's see if we can do that together. I'm going to switch to piano view. Okie dokie. All right, so I am sitting here in my C position, looking awesome. We're gonna start with that finger 3 on E, and I'm gonna give that count off, okay? We have lots of sharps to play. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, hold. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, hold. 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Very nice. All right. It's getting better little by little, right? You know, that's what we say, right? The more you play it, the more you practice it, the better you get at it. It just takes the work, okay? If you don't put the time into it, then you can't reap the benefits of being able to play something as tricky as this song, okay? Keep that in mind, all right? It's like an investment, right? You invest the time into building up your skills at the piano, and you will get that reward, that payoff of the satisfaction of being able to play some really cool stuff, okay? Now, we got to go over the left hand of the last 2 lines too, right? We do. You thought I was just going to not do it, right? You guys are funny. Okay, let's try the left hand now, okay? Luckily, the left hand is not as tricky this time around because it's the same chords that we had in the first section, okay? It's just a little bit different rhythm that we have to be aware of. All right, let's switch to piano view so you can watch and play along the left hand only, all right? Be very cognizant of the rests, okay? Let's do it. All right. Okie dokie. So I am in C position again, okay? I've got my 5, 3, 1 ready to play that 1 chord, all right? The count off is going to be a little bit goofy, so stick with me, okay? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. Rest, 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 rest. 2 and a D7, 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Rest, 2, 4. though. I'm not gonna lie. I think I messed up at the beginning of that. It just sounded a little bit goofy. Yeah, that count off was really weird. It's because in my head, I was thinking that the left hand chord was coming on the second beat of that second measure instead of the first beat. That's what threw me off. So I think we're gonna give ourselves another chance to play it through because it was so weird. All right? You know I'm just a regular person, right? I make mistakes too. Let's do it again together, all right? I'm gonna do my best to do it the correct way this time, okay? Let's do it. All right, so we're in C position. I promise I'm gonna try and get that count off correct this time, okay? Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. 2, 1, rest. 1, G7, 1, hold. 1, 2, and then 2, and a 1, 2, 3, rest. 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 1, hold. Hold, and then hold, and a 1 with a 1. Yes. All right, that was a lot better. Yeah, it's funny, right? You realize you're like, oh, that wasn't very good. And then you're like, you know what? I'm just going to play it again. Like, what is it? 15, 20 seconds out of your day? Just to get it right? But then you feel better after you play it again. And you're like, ah, that was totally worth it. All right? Now, remember I talked about that da capo al fine, right? So it's still written at the end there. So that means that you're still going to have to go back to the beginning and play the first 2 lines again. All right? That's the real end. Okay? It's like when you're watching a movie and they have like an alternate ending, right? And it gives it like even more like cool drama and like crazy stuff happening. It's sort of like that. So like the da capo is like, just kidding, the song's not over yet. So you got to go all the way back and play the beginning 2 lines again, right? But it also gives you another chance to play it right. I love it. I think it's great. That's why I like repeat signs so much too. It's like, oh, thanks, a second chance. I love it. All right, so with that, we haven't talked about dynamics at all, okay? There's a lot going on in this song. We also haven't talked about actually hearing what the roadmap sounds like, right? I think I'm going to do that for you now. I'm going to play Standing in the Need of Prayer the whole way through, okay? So beginning to end with the da capo, okay? So if you want to follow along in your music, you're more than welcome to do that, okay? I think that's going to give you a good idea, tempo-wise and rhythmic-wise, how it's supposed to sound, okay? Let's give it a try. All right, follow along in your music if you've got it open, okay? I promise I'll try my best to not make a mistake, all right? So I am in C position. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to begin. I will count off. And remember, it does say rhythmically and not too fast. Okay, I'm going to do my best on those dynamics too. All right, I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and play. was. It was actually a nice song. Yeah. I think when you finally get to the point where like the tempo feels good and nice and steady, and you're able to focus a little less on the notes and more on the dynamics, you're really going to feel like confident about it, right? It's a tricky song. I mean, obviously, look at it. There's a lot of stuff going on. So when you have that time to practice and work on this song, when you complete it and you're feeling good about it, you're really, really going to start like feeling confident, okay? That's what I want. I want you to feel confident in your piano playing, in your progress. You've done a remarkable job over these last 5 months. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in 5 more months. Think about that. Oh my gosh. 5 more months of piano, you'd be like really, really good. And I'm not just saying that because I'm your teacher. I'm saying that because I believe in it, right? Because when you stick to something and you put your mind to it, you really can do some amazing stuff, okay? Awesome. Awesome work, everybody, okay? Now, no theory, all right? This is the last lesson of the summer, okay? So I'm going to take a couple weeks off. That way I can go on a little vacation with my family just for a couple days. I have the fall schedule up. We're still going to do the same time slot, the same day. We're doing Saturday lessons for adults and teens, 3 p.m. Central on Facebook, or if you can't join me live on Facebook, you can always watch on YouTube, okay? And I think we're starting on the week of September 15th again, okay? So look for me there, all right? Now, let me talk to you a little bit about Patreon, okay? Now, I've mentioned this before, Patreon as a platform for creatives to get a steady income, right? Now, I'm going to have this little raffle going, okay? If you join Patreon at any level, from $5 a month up to $50 a month, if you join within the next 3 weeks, okay, I'm going to draw 2 names out of a hat for a private piano lesson with me, right? So if you've been wanting to work on something specific with me, or it's just giving you a ton of trouble, I'm going to give you that time. You get a piece of my time one-on-one, and we're going to have it either a Zoom lesson or something similar to that, okay? So join Patreon. Now is the time to join, okay? All of my previous patrons are still eligible, okay? I have 29 of you, and I love each and every one of you. But now, if you've been on the fence about joining, this is the time to join. So that way you can get that extra time with me. That's a pretty cool thing, okay? I would love to have you guys, all right? I appreciate all the support. All right. And of course, I end every lesson with a music quote, right? Yeah, so today's music quote is pretty good, all right? It is from the German writer Jean Paul, okay? And this is what he says. Music is the moonlight in the gloomy night of life. I would agree with that. Yeah. Like sometimes, whether it be things happening in the world or things in your family, or you're grieving something, or you're sad, or you're depressed, music can be that light. That can be the thing that pulls you out of something very tricky and very difficult and very heartbreaking, right? It gets you through catastrophes. It gets you through death in the family. It's a crazy time right now in the world. We're dealing with a lot of things. And music is one of those things that can pull you out of it, Even for a moment, you find a little bit of peace, you find a little bit of tranquility, you find comfort. That's really what music is all about, is connecting with you on a deeper level, right? And now you're lucky enough that you get to make that music yourself, right? I know it can be frustrating sometimes, but you've stuck with it, and that is something to be commended, all right? I'm so proud of you. Keep it up, guys, all right? I will see you guys in a couple weeks, all right? We're going to have a lot of fun this fall. Please tell all your friends about me. This wouldn't be possible without people watching, right? If there was no one watching, then what's the point of doing it, right? But I know I'm reaching you. My private Facebook group is almost to 300 people. Can you imagine? We're doing some good stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for supporting me and for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to look at Patreon. I will see you guys very soon. If you need help with a song from this week, join me up on Monday, okay? We're going to do some practice together, all right? I'll see y'all later. Bye.